Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling, as shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today, where apparently the new Rivals of Aether 13th character is just announced. So I don't know, I guess I'm going to open it right now. And it's Absa. Woo! How very exciting. I say this as someone who, well, I love playing a lot of Rivals Aether 1, and I do want to play more of Rivals of Aether 2, I just haven't really. But yeah, what have we been up to today? Not too much. Had a bit of a lie-in compared to usual today, but honestly I just did a lot of housework, to be honest. And then I started streaming, and then I ate dinner after playing a couple of games. And now we're here. So good evening, everyone. Around Fawnhallow, it's 8:28 PM on Sunday, May 25th, 2025. Yeah, so what should we talk about today? I will say, we played more Blueprints on the stream, and I'm having a great time playing it. So much so that I kind of want to play it more, but because I've made it a stream game, I'm like, not like I can only play it during the stream, but it's like, yeah, it only really makes sense to play it during the stream. And I think that's fine, because I think it 100% feels like a stream game to me rather than a non-stream game. Mainly because it's at the point where lots of people have played it, so it's a lot more fun to get people's live reaction. And other people, I think it's more fun to hear me sort of talk out loud for it, or on having sort of a staggered thing. Because I will say I play for game stream. If I do a stream a week, then there's technically a lot more of a game you get per week. Because all the other games you only get max 40 minutes a week, while the stream games, theoretically, you would get 2 hours a week. If I actually kept my stream schedule, but I've been a little bit busy, so it's been pretty difficult recently. I think things are quieting down now, so I think I should be okay from here on. Not next week, because next week I'll be busy, but like from the week after that, I think I should be able to keep to it. But yeah, it's sort of like, I kind of want to play it more, but I'm like, pace yourself. It's like my friend 100%ed it, and I think it took her like 80 hours or something, some very high amount of time. And I was just kind of like, wow, that's crazy. That'd be like 95 hours is how long she did it for. But if it ends up being like, oh, I love playing it so much, then like I do catch-up streams of art, I guess I can do catch-up streams of games where just like one evening I'll just be like, okay, we'll just play for like 3 hours or something. I don't know what I'll do with the thumbnails at that point. I guess I'll probably also work on a thumbnail, maybe, I'm not sure. So I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, it's a good time playing that. I guess also, what else has been going on? Not too much, to be honest. I haven't played much more of like the gacha games at the moment or anything like that. I haven't done the Genshin new story quest, haven't started Honkai Star Rail's new story quest, haven't done more of Wuthering Waves' story quest. I've made it to Renacita, and I've just got I've just met Phoebe, basically. Well, not just met Phoebe, I've met Phoebe for a little bit. Renacita definitely feels like it's more up my alley. Yeah, I don't know, Wuthering Waves is interesting so far. I feel like the very first part of the story, I was like, it's okay. I think its environment and like its hype moments are pretty hype, but I feel like it doesn't carry itself well throughout the other parts. And then the next one, which is Jinxie Story Quest, I thought was actually really good. I was like, damn, this is a big step up. And then the Shorekeeper quest, I was like, this is interesting lore-wise, but it's actually very convoluted. I had a very hard time following it because I didn't know. I felt like a lot of the times it was talking about things where I'm like, I don't think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, but I hear Renacita's when it really hits its stride. So I'm just like, heck yeah, let's go into it. But yeah, what else should we talk about? I don't know. Blueprints is interesting. Because there feels like there's so much going on in Renacita. I don't know, it's just difficult in Blueprints, but it's just difficult to know exactly. I feel like I'm over-analysing every single detail, but I'm sure once I get like past it, there'll be a lot of people who are just like, oh, you're not over-analysing it all, this is exactly how it's meant to be, This is exactly how it goes. But yeah, it's kind of fun to get into a game to overanalyze it again. Like, this is a very sort of, I feel like a lot of the times I've been playing games, I've been playing them in a very sort of casual, how should I put it, like, laid back way. I mean, like Little Gator Game was kind of like that. Even Animal Well, I'm kind of playing like in a sort of low-key way rather than a hyper intense focus way. But Blueprints is sort of just like I walk into a room, I'm like, this is a new room I've never seen before. What are the million things which could possibly relate to something which I don't understand even fully yet? And it's getting to a point where I'm just like, there's so many things I'm running into where I'm like, yes, this seems of interest, this seems important. I don't know how or when it is possibly relevant. Which I find very interesting. It's a wonderful feeling of the unknown, I think, of being lost, I suppose, in a game. Of like, I don't know what I'm doing, like it doesn't make sense. And it's a really beautiful moment for a game to be like, how does this work? Where you just try things, because I'm trying different rooms, you know, in this place, because I'm just like, I don't know what this room is. This room sounds terrible, but I'm still going to go into it anyway, just to kind of see what happens. And there's like things where I'm just like, oh yeah, this makes sense for that, this makes sense for that. Like there's connections I'm making. I don't know how many of the connections I'm like properly making, how many of them are sort of like red herrings or things I don't understand properly. But it's great. You know, it's a very unknown time in a game, which allows you the room to experiment, I guess is how I say it. The room to sort of be like, hey, what's this going to be like? I don't know. Trying things. Because eventually, this does seem like a game at the heart. Eventually, you'll know what you're doing. It's just more of like executing upon it. So, you know, I'll be like, okay, you know, I need this room because this is the best time to get this room. Do I take this now? Do I take this later? Is the risk worth it? No, I'll take it now. Why not? And it's all about this sort of thing. Well, I'm just like, you know, there's a lot of weighing up to do here and there. When is the right time to do something? But when it becomes a more of like an execution basis, it sort of loses that charm, doesn't it? It sort of is like, oh yeah, I'm looking because I like know which room I'm looking for. I know what rooms I need to get in what order to execute the plan I have, but it's more about efficiently getting them. I'm not saying that doesn't make the game fun as well. Like I also have a lot of fun optimizing games, but I think there's a very beautiful moment when you're between optimizing. When you're learning how to optimize it. And when you're an optimizer and you're learning how to optimize a game, that's, I think, part of the beauty of it, really. So yeah, I don't know how a lot of it is going to go right now. I feel like a lot of it is still very much up in the air. But yeah, I'm trying to think what a tagline for his thumbnail art should be. Inefficient and efficiency. How about that? Yeah, I think there's a lot of fun, I think, in the unknown when it comes to that. So I'm just like saying the same thing over and over again. I feel like my mind is out elsewhere, to be honest. But it's a sort of thing where it's like, in the goal to become as efficient as possible in the game, you have to go through a lot of inefficiencies, provided that you're not like just looking up a guide, in which case, I don't know. I mean, you're more than welcome to just look up a guide on how to beat the game, how to play the game, I suppose. But in fact, I think your mileage may vary because most people probably don't want to play a game in that way. But there's a lot of fun in basically going through the steps to become efficient, I think is the way I'd put it. It's where you're starting out at inefficiency and you pick something up and you're like, oh, I could, anytime I run into this room, I could put this room here and it would be efficient. Or like, oh, there's like some sort of synergistic combo here. Do I need to do this all the time? Do I do this only part of the time? I don't know. Like, and I don't want to say anything because I think Blueprints somehow it was a game I got 0 spoilers on, essentially. It's a game somehow where I was like, I know essentially nothing about the game except for you are building blueprints to a room and it's kind of like a roguelite, and there's a ridiculous amount of puzzles and secrets which lie underneath. But yeah, I don't know, I guess it's kind of interesting, surprising in that way. To be like, how is any of this going to work? How am I going to make this work? Because you're doing a lot of experimentation where you're like, is this something which will work here? Can I make it work this way? And then figuring out, like, slowly, I guess slowly but surely pieces are coming together into the cogs that make up a great machine of efficiency. I was like, how do I make this into a noun? Efficientization is not a word, but efficacy, I guess. Well, that's not how effective something is, right? Not the efficiency of something. And I think I'm in that like really enjoyable moment, which is weird to say because I'm only like 4 hours into the game, and supposedly the game goes on for 90 hours ish. So I don't even know how that's possible. But I'm in a very lovely moment of a game where it's like things are slowly coming to place. Like I sort of validated the first major synergy I think I had, and it revealed to me something. It revealed to me, like, the way I'd say it for a non-spoilery way, if you've played Blueprints, is it gave me the first, I think, permanent upgrade in the game. Like, I did something, and I did it in, and I was like, oh, that'd be interesting, because it was more like, let's say that there was a puzzle element which had a restriction on it, and then later on a different run, I think the next run, I found a room which seemed to have an element corresponding to that, and I was like, oh, that's super interesting. I wonder if this is something which I can use. And of course it was something you can use. And I was like, I wonder if I interact, and then like this stream I got that interaction and it worked, and I got the first permanent upgrade from that, and I was like, that's beautiful. That is kind of like, you know, pieces falling into place in a way which is very, very fascinating, I think. It's doing it in a way where I'm just like, oh, I can slowly, you know, I saw this coming, and to actually have it be correct and have it sort of validated in a way where I'm like, yes, that is what you're meant to be doing, is great. So yeah, if anything, I guess it's kind of like a calm before a storm. The calm being, well, now, and then the storm being when it's like the only thing I care about is efficiency. Where I'm just like, oh, you know, you're like, I understand it's a roguelite, and a lot of the core basis of roguelites, especially ones which are not predetermined, is you're tilting randomness into your own favor, is how I describe it. You're slowly but surely trying to make things go your way. That's kind of like the core blood, I think, of it. And is it working? Yeah, kind of. I don't know, but that's what makes me so hype about the game. I think this golden moment to be able to enjoy the game on both the discovery merits and the efficiency merits is very rare, I think, for me, because I feel like a lot of the time what ends up happening is I just kind of switch from one to the other, where like the discovery thing is not the part I do enjoy discovery and exploration, but it's kind of more like the relaxation vibes going with the flow, like seeing the crafted story ahead of me, and then it sort of just flicks a switch at some point to be like, okay, now I'm enjoying the efficiency part of it, the optimization part of it is perhaps a better way to put it. But this feels like it has a very nice gradual incline into it. That's probably what I'd say. Where I'm like, yeah, this feels like I accidentally clicked on Reddit link there, where it feels like a gradual slope into like the switch from efficiency and from discovery to efficiency. Now I'm sure like there'll be times later on where maybe I disagree with that. Maybe I'm like, oh, I called that shot way too early. I don't know. But that's how it feels like to me at the moment. And I feel like it would be nice to sort of say my thoughts about it as the game goes, because it's going to take a while for me to get through this entire game, right? So, yeah. I guess my one word phrase, or like where I think I am in the game, like milestone-wise, is I would say orchard, for those of you who played the game. That's the last major thing which I've essentially discovered. Anyway, this is a bit of a short episode, but mainly because I think I run out of things to talk about, and a friend does want to play Rabbit and Steel, so, you know, I'm probably going to go play some Rabbit and Steel now. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to play more Blueprints, but it must wait. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewells. Until next time. Bye-bye for now.